Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Wednesday, September 24, 2025. And in the news this afternoon, mentally ill man fatally shot by police in May Pen. A mentally ill man was fatally shot by police on Tuesday morning in May Pen, Clarendon. It is reported that shortly after 11 o'clock, police were patrolling the town near Stark and the Brumanti streets where they observed a machete-wielding man behaving violently. It is further reported that the police team approached him and he attacked one of the officers. He was then shot and wounded. The man was pronounced dead at May Pen Hospital. The Independent Commission of Investigations has launched a probe into the matter. Several residents told the news that they observed the man in the town chasing passers-by hours before the incident. One resident said the man had frequently brandished the machete and made threats against several people.
He used to say, "Sucks." I can't do so. By the time my dad did sick, I was wondering by the time he grew up. And he on the road that way, my one. He the rasta, but he get mad after that. He always have a check people with it. So we say, you know, so you're not going to take away, cut this, take away from them. You try to go down there, you go take it away. She don't do it, no?
Clarendon man charged with wife's murder remanded until November 6. Henry Williams, the Clarendon man charged with murder and arson in relation to the death of his wife, was further remanded when he appeared in the Clarendon Parish Court on Tuesday. The 39-year-old, who is also called Bartel, is accused of killing 33-year-old Sashane Williams and setting their house ablaze during a domestic dispute on April 8. Mr. Williams, who is represented by attorney Odane Marston, is expected back in court on November 6 for a committal hearing. When the matter was called up on Tuesday morning, the court was told that the case file is incomplete. Investigators say Mrs. Williams and her husband were at home with her children in Cupid District, Frankfield, when a dispute between the two escalated into a physical confrontation. It is alleged that Mr. Williams used a knife to inflict multiple stab wounds all over his wife's body. He then set the house on fire with a wounded woman inside. AK-47 rifle seized, man held in St. James police operation. The St. James police on Tuesday seized an assault rifle with a magazine containing 1 round of ammunition during an operation in Farm Hill District, Rose Heights in the parish. The Mount Salem police say between 4:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. lawmen were in the area when a property that was occupied by a man was searched. They say during the search, an AK-47 rifle with a magazine containing 1 7.62 round of ammunition was found in his possession. He was subsequently taken into custody. However, his identity is being withheld pending further investigation. JFJ presses for mandatory use of body cameras in police operations. Human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice is again pressing for the mandatory use of functioning body-worn cameras during planned police operations. The renewed call follows the fatal police shooting of 22-year-old Lamar Ferguson in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon on September 15. Executive Director of JFJ, Michael Jackson, says that there are questions about the circumstances under which Mr. Ferguson was killed. She says the police and the Independent Commission of Investigations have several questions to answer.
The questions that citizens must join the family in asking: what were the specific circumstances that led to the use of lethal force against Jamar, especially given his apparent surrender? If the media reports are true that the surveillance cameras were in fact disconnected, why was this done and what steps were taken to preserve other evidence that could clarify the series of events? This incident for us is reminiscent of the 2024 shooting of Romario Sterling in Bog Walk, St. Catherine. If you recall, in that incident, There was a man who appeared to be kneeling down, and then what sounded like a gunshot was heard, and the imagery was captured on CCTV camera. I think when we look at this particular incident, it is very clear that there need not be any specialized body-worn cameras, because the ordinary body-worn cameras that are currently in use would be just fine, because it would give you an idea of what happened before, even if not during, but certainly after an incident, to aid with quicker conclusion of an investigation.
CPFSA steps up social media monitoring. The Child Protection and the Family Services Agency says social media has become an essential tool in safeguarding children, allowing its investigators to respond more quickly to cases of neglect or abuse that may otherwise go unreported. Social media has come under the spotlight after the agency removed TikTok influencer Rosalie's children after a post in which she implied she would hurt them. Rosalie later took to social media again, questioning why she was not being allowed to see or speak with her children since they were taken. But the CPFSA said those same posts, along with the tags and the direct messages from concerned citizens, allowed its investigators to move quickly. This collective vigilance allowed us to act swiftly, assess the situation, and determine the most appropriate intervention, the agency said. The CPFSA's public relations and investigations team scan platforms daily, looking for posts or videos that may signal a child is in danger. Once a concerning case is spotted, investigators reach out to the poster to gather more information. If the child is located, the agency steps in, from counseling parents to removing the child from unsafe environments. Each response is guided by what is deemed to be in the best interest of the child, the CPFSA stressed. Before social media, most reports of alleged child abuse reached the agency only through police referrals or direct hotline calls, but the agency warned that speculation and misinformation spreading online can also derail investigations. Unverified claims often create confusion, delay investigations, and may compromise the privacy and the dignity of the child involved, officials said. Every post is first treated as an allegation, and the investigations must verify it before acting. False leads, they cautioned, waste the time when a child could still be at risk. The CPFSA said Rosalie's case proved both sides of the coin. Public vigilance can help, but careless sharing can also cause more trauma. Sharing videos or images of abuse may unintentionally cause a further harm or lifelong stigma for that child, the agency said. Instead, Jamaicans are being asked to report suspected abuse directly. The CPFSA operates a 24/7 child abuse hotline 211 and also accepts private reports via WhatsApp at 876-878-2882. Protecting the dignity and the safety of children must always be the priority, the agency reminded. Don't share, don't speculate, report. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.